when something's up, because my mom is like, where's Patrick? He hasn't been calling. Is something up between y'all? Like, what's going on? And eventually I have to tell the truth. And that leads to a very charged emotional argument between the two of us. And I'm suffocated by questions like, how could you leave Patrick? And what are you thinking dating a white person? That's dangerous. I end up writing a 4-page letter to my parents explaining why I broke up with Patrick, the struggles we were having, but also this beautiful relationship I was discovering with Josh. And I asked if he can come over for dinner. And they agreed, to my surprise. The day comes for Josh to meet my family. We go into the dining room, and upon meeting Josh, my mom looks at him, quietly says hi, and then turns around and makes her way into the kitchen. I follow her, and I find her sitting by the window, and she is crying. And I'm like, Mom, like, what is up? And she looks up at me, and she says, is this really what you choose? What do I do? Like, this is my mom. She sacrificed everything to me. Like, the woman brought me into this world. And this decision that I am making brings her so much pain and fear. Or do I continue to take a risk on love? Because there is an individual in the room next door that I know in the deepest of my core I am meant to savor life with. I tell my mom I can't hold her in this moment, and I rejoin my sister and my brother Josh in the dining room. Now, Haitian mothers are nosy, so even though she doesn't agree with what's happening in her house, she can't help but still want to be in the room. She hears laughter happening, and all of a sudden she reappears in the doorway. And Josh, without a beat, notices her and says, Mrs. Paris, I just want you to know your food is amazing. I love it. Well, that's all you have to tell a Haitian mother. They take so much pride in feeding you and their cooking. And before you know it, my mom is starting to find a little comfort as she's loading Josh's plate with more Haitian rice and meat and sauce. And before you know it, she's sitting down at the table with us. Not saying much, but still in the presence. And at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen and how she'll eventually accept this relationship between the two of us, but she's willing to sit, she's willing to listen, she's curious. And I'm hoping this will allow her to start to understand this love that exists between Josh and I. And she too is learning to take a risk on love for me.